Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that, and everybody who's taken their time to pop on. I do appreciate it. Um, I just love this image. That is the first image that you see on Mawa. It sort of really depicts Mawa quite beautifully. As we go through the presentation, I'll show you exactly where it's located, etc. But I like to start off with this because this is impactful and it gives you a really good idea of just what a beach destination is in Malawi. As you can see, it looks like the sea, it acts like the sea. And I forget actually, I always refer to it as a beach when I'm there because that's exactly what it is. Over here up at the top here, you'll see our little, that's our spa. These rooms you see down here at water level are our standard rooms. This is the dining area and lounge area and bar area. Our little Paddy diving school is located there. Reception is under the trees here. This is the roof of one of our standard family rooms. And then there's some more premier rooms here as well as up high here in the rocky area. So that just gives you an idea of how nice and blue and beautiful the water is. It's warm all year round, between 26 and 30 degrees. No bilharzia, no crocs, no hippos. It's very, very safe. And you're the only lodge on the island, which is very, very important. From a location perspective, that just shows you, I like this map because it shows you how large Lake Malawi is. I mean, this is Lake Kariba here, which is the largest man-made dam in Africa. And then you look at this and you can see just how massive this lake is, part of the 7 Great Rift Valley lakes coming down through Africa. It's part of our fuller portfolio collection called Green Safaris. So it's sold either standalone or it is sold as part of a Zambian itinerary. And when I say standalone, we have flights coming into Lilongwe out of Addis Ababa, Lusaka, Harare, Johannesburg on Ethiopia, and Kenyan Airways from Nairobi, Airlink also from Johannesburg. So very easy to add this on as a preferred beach destination if you don't want the crowds. Then you head them down our way. But of course, as you can see, very easy to add on also to a beautiful Zambian circuit with the Victoria Falls. 18 square kilometers. Yeah, I mean, we are based right here on this little knoll where you saw the aerial view. And then these are just all the roads that go through. There's a sort of a big mountain sitting here on the mountain. It's a hill, really. The Likoma airstrip that you come in onto the island. This is where the ferry comes in. This is the Mamba market where you can go and look at the live market. And then there's a cathedral that was built many, many moons ago by missionaries that is there on the island, which I'll also show you just now. They're busy building another little church here. I think this is Anglican, and then this is Catholic church that they're busy building. That's going to be soon up and running, but looks very similar, funny enough, to the Anglican church. One of the things I'll say about Mawa is that you really do engage yourself in community on this island, because there's a community that is as it was on this island and are very proud of this little island and who they are. And we obviously employ from this community that is on this island. I think one of the things that I was doing some trends for our Indaba recently, and one of the trends is doing safari, going out to destinations where there's no crowds, number one. Number two, doing a more authentic safari, community experience. There's a lot of shows and put-ons, and people are more looking for that really authentic engagement, which is where you get it here on this island. The original owner before Green Safaris bought it, was the brother-in-law of Tongabizi, and which is in Livingston, and which now we also own. And so there's a lot of similarities between having standard rooms and premier rooms and family rooms, etc. It's also, available for all families, honeymooners, families, FITs. It's a romantic. It's got all of those elements. So there's something for everyone really on this island. We do obviously have a closure season simply because of the rains. You don't want to be on a little island in the middle of the lake when the storms come up. And so we only open on the 1st of April. This is the rates, and I like to put it out there because what I want to show you is that if you are 4 nights or more on this island, or 4 nights or more on our circuit, so if you're including Zambia, your flights to and from Lilongwe or Zambia are included in that nightly rate. And that therefore makes this such an affordable beach destination, we feel. Especially when you consider everything that's included in this. So as I said, the flights, the airport taxes, all your meals, your selected activities, laundry, non-premium drinks, any levies, park fee, whatever, it's all included in there. And what's nice about this is, in some other beach destinations, you have to get on a boat and go to a snorkeling place. You can snorkel right off your room here. It's obviously a very different way of snorkeling, but it's quite unique, and we do have diving groups that come here specifically to dive Lake Malawi. David Attenborough does something every single year in his Planet Earth when he was doing them on Lake Malawi, because it's such a fascinating lake with so many different species of cichlid fish. And so, yeah, that's important. This is sort of the layout. Again, you did see this aerial view. I pointed out the standard rooms here. These are 2 premier rooms. I pointed out our lounge dining area. That's the paddy. That roof you saw of the standard family is sitting over here, and then the 2 premier rooms, which can be family premiers as well, located. So that's located in that mall. I'm going to show you a video. I'm going to mute the sound because otherwise you won't be able to hear anything I'm saying. So you arrive at the airport, you get picked up in a 4x4 out of that boat, the vehicle as you just seen, and you head into the lodge. The lodge itself was built by the community actually many years ago into this rocky outcrop. So every house is different, every bathroom is different. Some, as I said, are standard, some are premier rooms, some are family rooms. And that's what's so wonderful about it. So we choose the right room. Some have lots of stairs going up to it, some are down at beach level, so that also comes into play. Our agents portal, and again, if any of you want access to the agents portal or want to have a dedicated training session with me on our entire portfolio, please do email me at ros, at greensafaris.com, and I will set that up for you. And then we can spend a little bit more time doing one-on-one on the whole portfolio. But the agents portal itself will have all of this information on it, as well as imagery and also the room descriptions, which I think is important. As I said, some of them have stairs and some don't. So this is all our staff and their kids that were singing. They've decided to do that, and it's wonderful because you get to meet the staff's kids that are busy serving you. Wilson, who you saw banging the drum there, is actually head of our valets. We've just launched the valet system here. We do have it at Tongabizi and Sausage and actually all of our other properties, but it's a fairly new concept here in Mawa. So one of our projects that we've done is introduce English classes. In the low season in January, we flew all of the valets to Tongabizi. We brought in a company from South Africa that did valet training with them, and of course with our senior valets as well. And then we also flew all the chefs down to Tongabizi as well, and we've had a Michelin star chef come out from the Amsterdam, and he did Michelin star training with them. The food is already spectacular, but it's just about keeping up with the trends and looking at how you present food and a little bit keeping up with more modern trends, shall we say. We want clients to walk away thinking, oh, they have been at a Michelin star restaurant on this little island in the middle of nowhere or any of our lodges. So these are part of the upliftment programs that we do with staff or people, the community on the island. And that was important. I mean, English isn't their first language, so they knew a smattering, and to be able to be a valet or a senior valet, you need to be able to converse a lot more. And so that's why we started English classes as well. We do support a lot of the schools for kids already, and this was just something that we felt we needed to do for the adults, which I think is a wonderful thing to do. Just some imagery of the main area. I think you saw in the image, we did have a fence that's running here now, a sort of a lattice, but that's because the lake a couple of years ago rose, and this year it's risen again. Last year it didn't rise at all. There you see it there on the side. It's just to protect the beach. But we were going to take it down because last year the lake didn't rise at all, and this year, because of the Mawa flooding, it's risen again, which is an interesting one because you see it travels all the way down into all the Great Rift Valley lakes. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really impact what we are. This is our bar area here, which I think is another image. This is looking out from the lounge area into one of the standard rooms, of our closest standard rooms to the beach. This is our bar area. I spend a lot of time on these couches here, and I love it when Martin's band or the marimba band come down, especially at sunsets, because you know you're sitting here, you've got your cocktail in your hand, and the sun is setting, and you're watching these guys sing, and you can either get up and dance with them or not, depending who you are. We find a lot of guests get up and start dancing with them, and they love it, and dance with the kids, or like me, they always have to check my bag because I wish I could take them all home with me, and the staff. And yeah, I just love it. I love interacting with all of them and getting to know them. One of the wonderful things about being involved with Green Safaris is that every time you go to a lodge, you feel like you're coming home to a family. And that's what you feel. Even guests who've never been here before would feel that immediately, but I feel that every time I head into a Green Safaris property. Well, you know, we're not this big corporate machine. We might have 8 lodges, but we're not a big corporate machine. We definitely still are very small and unique. And Vincent and Daniel, the joint MDs, and Vincent's the founder, are very, very involved with every single staff member and their lives and their families. We've got high-speed Wi-Fi here, Starlink, and it's not just for the guests, it's also for the staff, so that they can keep in contact with families, etc. Although it's very different here on Kaimau, a lot of them live in the village, so they do get to go home to their families, but some of the other guys in the safari areas, like Chris, for example, had a baby. He wants to be able to FaceTime his wife, etc. So it's just important for their mental health and keeping them happy as well. This is just a view of the standard rooms, just so that you can see. We have the inside bedroom, but then every single standard room's got this outside lounge area. And then you also have these decks, which give you direct access into what I call your big plunge pool. This is a different one that you can see here. This is actually the second room, and that's the first one. And then we've got standard families, which, as I said, was right on the beach. There's 2 of them, both 2 bedrooms. Obviously, again, direct access onto the beach and into the sea. Oh, sorry, into the lake. This one itself has got, well, one of them has got its bathroom in between the 2 bedrooms, and this has got stairs going up into a bath that's sitting on top of here, which is quite quirky. Again, just very, very, very different. And you do get that sense of privacy, even though you're on the beach, in that you have this little space to yourself. And then we've got the premier rooms. Now, all the premier rooms have plunge pools, and they have air conditioning. So that's the premier room. This is in Kwazi. This is a lot of stairs going up. One of the first rooms I ever stayed at when I first visited here with my 11-year-old son. I've actually got a picture of him in that bath, and there's a round swimming pool. You can just see the rim of it behind the towels here. It's got all these decks around the whole room at different levels, so you can have your breakfast in the room or your dinner in the room if you want, or lunch. It's just just a magical room with some stunning views. And it's interesting, you're sitting there and then you hear a fish eagle, and you think, a fish eagle at the sea? But it's not, it's a lake. So you get all those freshwater birds as well that are available to you. And then just below Mkwazi, so less steps, Mambamba, and this is an image of the inside. All of these the decor that you see comes from our women's project on the island. So this is all recycled glass and copper, and these are linen with beads on it. This is teasing beads and the wooden stands that they make, the tie backs for our curtains, as well as our mosquito nets are done with them. So we do support them a lot in terms of buying our decor from them, not just for Kaimara, but for all the others. And we produce little things. There's always going to be a yoga mat in the room. And you're going to have your little hats, straw hats made by the outside community inside there. Our dressing gowns and all of that come from also women's projects in Zambia or from the local market. We have bags where we put all your snorkeling equipment inside in the rooms for you, so you can go and snorkel or anytime you want. I mean, I know the one morning I was lying asleep, fast asleep at 6:30, and my son was up fishing for little cichlids so that he could use that as bait for when we went out doing our big fishing, which we did do. And then you've got Madamba. Now, this is now on the other side of the beach, and we've actually got a walkway now. Before you had to walk across the sand. We've actually got a walkway now, so it's easier to walk backwards and forwards across to these two rooms or to the family rooms. And this is the one. It's got actually it's got one bedroom, but it's got a whole lounge area on. And so we can turn this into a family room by putting in extra beds into this area here, but it does have the one bathroom only. This is its pool looking out across. There's the little spa again and the one standard room there. And then next door to that is the Mainja Premier family, which again is completely different. It's got 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. That's an image of its plunge pool, which is down here next to this deck area. And again, completely different. This is one of the bathrooms. It's got its outside bath and area inside. And again, you can see what I mean by it being built into the rocks. And being very quirky, which is fantastic. And again, the recycled chandeliers up at the top. So people and places, I think you saw in the video, scuba diving, snorkeling, etc. And it's just a very unique place to do this kind of diving. And we have a full paddy diving school on the island. Again, just another picture of what is our spa. I'm not sure why this image has got chairs and tables in, but it actually is a spa with white linen cots. But guests can either have a spa treatment in their room, or they can have a spa treatment at the spa center. We are introducing also a beach cinema as well at Mawa. For those days and those guests who want to, we just do pizza and popcorn nights, and we do movies for guests, and they can choose whether they want to participate or not. This is Wilson here. As I said, he's head of our valets now, but this is our dhow boats, which we've made electric. And I did this. We packed a cooler box full of drinks and food, and off we went with fishing rods and snorkel equipment, and it took us. We went all the way around the island, stopped, snorkeled, swam, fished, had lunch, carried on going, and eventually we had to hightail it back because I had a spa treatment booked, and we were just having such a wonderful time. I mean, nowhere did I bond more with my son than on this trip to Kayamawa. So I said and he did bubble school, and he learned to sail. We canoed to the women's center. I did some shopping, and we canoed back. Water skiing, tubing, canoeing, subbing. All of this right off the beach. And there's just another image of our staff and their kids coming down to sing. They don't do it every day, but we try to get them down and as much as they would like. We've obviously do it in consultation with them. Lots of conservation projects on this island for us. We have a separate Green Forest Foundation website where you can actually go and see some of the projects that we've done. Some of them have worked, some haven't. We have to be very mindful that we're in an area that is run by chiefs, and it's not what we think they need, it's what they think they need. And so, some of the things that have been quite successful is we are part of Medic to Medic, which is a foundation, a meaningful partnership with a UK-based charity. We've got the Hope Community Garden, which their soils are very much like being on an island. So you've got to learn what can be grown and what can't be grown on the soils. Like we grew brinjals and they were amazing, but they tasted bitter. So that didn't work. So we tried something else. But also provides local organic produce as well as chicken and eggs to some of the community. Lots of little nursery schools that we support on the island, actually 6 in total, I believe. There's an orphanage also called Adziwa, which means he knows in the language of Malawian. And yeah, so we're involved with that. IT upskill projects with people on the island, helping them to bridge the divide and to get it's very important to give these guys a skill that they can leave the island, go and use somewhere else. And so that's the other things. Any client can sponsor a child as well. I mean, that's not new to the industry, but you can get to come and visit here and come and see your how they've grown and etc., which is lovely. And you can sponsor them beyond that as well, so they've completed their schooling career and they've shown aptitude to doing something else, and you continue to grow their career. And of course, just not just nursery schools, we're talking about primary schools as well and high schools that we support. We do a lot of reforestation projects, and again, I'm just going to go back quickly to this image because I think you will understand what I mean when I say reforestation. That picture. So, before, all these trees weren't there. There were 1 or 2 or 3, and there's actually a picture in our main area of what the island looked like before a reforestation project was started. And we continued it. And now look at it. I mean, and if you fly over it, you will be amazed at how beautiful and green it is. And we continue that program of reforestation. Not just that, we do cleanups on the island of single-use plastics. It's the scourge of Africa, and so we try our best to get that in place. So it has its challenges, but we try our best. And of course, that's amongst just on the island. That isn't even including all the stuff we do in Zambia. So please do go and visit the Green Safaris Foundation. But your clients can engage as much as they want with any of these projects, as much as they want, or as little as they want, or not at all. It's really, really up to them. This is just an image of the women's project. So this is termite mud chandelier, where they harden the mud, and then before they harden it, they put a hole through it, and then they paint it blue, white, or black, and then they do this. They also recycle the glass. They've got other beads that they bring in. This is actually a nest of a cichlid fish, a male cichlid fish in Lake Malawi, who does this. And again, you'll see it on Planet Earth with David Attenborough. He talks about that. Then this is a rudimentary machine they use to recycle this glass. They put it in here with the sand and the water from the lake, and then they run it for, I don't know, 48, 72 hours, whatever it is. There's one of these chandeliers that was commissioned by somebody who obviously has a very big entrance hall or lounge area. And this has got recycled copper at the bottom. So they use old geysers to do recycled copper, bush willow pods, teething beads, etc. So yeah, I shop till I drop every single time I come here because my house is full of this stuff. Even these termite mud chandeliers, they make those necklaces that sit on stands as part of your house decor, or that you put into baskets, things that you would pay a fortune for elsewhere. You can go and buy at this here. Now, in November, we had some agents through, and they happened to be on Likoma Island on a Sunday. You can visit the church anytime, but if you're there on a Sunday, then you can listen to this. Oh, sorry. So if you want, you can go and take communion on a Sunday, go to church with the community. This, as I said, that video was taken by one of the agents when he was there in November. And it is very humbling when you walk through there, even when there's nobody there. But what's lovely about being there on a Sunday is afterwards, the whole community spills out, and then you can interact and play with the kids and take photos of them and show them on their phone what they look like, and they love it. And that's what internationals absolutely love about being up here, or just going to the marimba market. But kids are in school during the day, and so you're not always going to see them at the marimba market. So this is always such a. I always say, try and do it that they end up with a Sunday on this island. We do have guests that come here for 10 days. They use this as their 10-day beach holiday rather than somewhere else. We've got lots of long stay specials as well, so which we sent out in our latest newsletter. So again, if any of you need a copy of that, please let me know. I'll send it to you to help you budget better for this little island. But you can, as an add-on, depending on your clients, you can do a 3 or 4 night stay add-on after a safari, or they can come here and they do an extended 10 days, and you never ever get bored on this island. I think that's it, guys. So you can engage with us. You can plant a tree. Okay, animal researchers is more Zambia, but you can go and meet the teachers that are at the schools and the women that look after the orphanage. We are solar powered, so we do mark ourselves in terms of our carbon footprint as well. And farm to table organic food as much as possible. As I said, we've got the Hope Community Garden, plus we also have our own little garden. So as much as we can do, we do table to garden to table. This is actually just a summary of the 24 impact. Sorry, I have received the 25 audit report. I just haven't received the summary yet. So at this stage, I've only got the 24 impact report, but it gives you an idea of, we have shareholders as part of this trust, and they obviously are wanting us to feed back to them how we're doing. And so we do get a very comprehensive audited report, which can be downloaded off the Green Safaris Foundation website. Yeah, this is just a little snapshot to show you how we monitor ourselves. And that's the end of that.